All right, guys, we're going to take a look at a very limited edition Weiss watch. This is their 42 millimeter field watch. This series was released in 2018, so a few years ago. They've come a long way. They've moved across the country. So this is back in the LA, Los Angeles, California dial, which will be on the dial. I'll show you that on a close-up. But this is the Gauge series. And this was based off from Cameron Weiss owns a 1971 Land Rover truck, which is this color right here. And I don't know what it's called exactly, but it's a kind of an iconic Land Rover color. So there was two different colorways in this one. There was this one, which there was only 21 of these made, and then there was a black dial one, same font and handset, black dial one. There was only 50 of them made, so a total of 71, 1971 Land Rover. But if you look on the case back here, this is number 5 of 21. So this belongs to my buddy Detroit Spartan, who has been gracious enough to let me video quite a few of his watches. So let's take a closer look at this one for sure. So case size, 42 millimeter stainless steel, lug to lug, about 49.5. The thickness, including the domed, double domed sapphire crystal, is 12.5 millimeter, about 20 millimeter lug width. They come with handmade leather straps. You have different options. I think there's like a canvas strap that you get on for their standard price. I think you have to pay a little bit more for their handmade leather straps, which are Horween leather, and then they're also stamped Weiss. They are very nice leather straps. 7 millimeter crown. It's a push-pull crown, probably 50 meter water resist. I didn't look up the water resist on this, but you don't want to get this thing wet. This guy weighs in at 82 grams, so not extremely heavy, even though it is constructed out of stainless steel. The only other Weiss I had on the show was that ultralight, the titanium one. That was crazy cool, and I was worried that the stainless steel was going to weigh too much, and I was going to really like the titanium. But now that I'm handling the stainless steel one, I could see owning the stainless steel one for sure. But there's a few things that I would like to see versus their newer lineup. This one, when it was released, was a $2,500 watch versus, well, again, 2018, where you go to the Weiss website now, and these are like $1,450 for the non-limited ones. So it was quite the premium, you know, speculating that it was a few years ago as well. So if he were to do this watch today, it would probably be closer to that $3,000 mark, because I think even the ultralight was like $2,800 or something like that, and that's a lot of money for a watch like this. But they're very cool. And Cameron and the team over there, his wife Whitney, and then I'm not sure who all is working for him now, because they moved to Nashville, Tennessee, which hopefully I'll make a trip down and visit their shop if we can arrange that. They make a lot of these components in-house, like the case and probably the bezel and the case back, and even some of the bridge work and the components and the movement and everything they'll actually make in-house. Now there's some things they can't, you know, get in the United States or produce themselves, such as the glass, you know, the sapphire and everything. You're not going to be able to do that here, as far as I can tell, for probably a long time. But really cool watch. So you'll notice the small seconds hand there is stopped at the 60. That's because he modified this movement. This is called the Caliber 1003. It's based off a Unitas movement, but it's modified so it hacks at the 60. If I push that in, it'll just keep rotating around. So I can pull that out again right now. Let's see. And the second hand is going to keep spinning until it gets around to the 60. So the crown's pulled out. When it gets around to the 60, it'll stop again. And then you can adjust the time. So it's kind of a lot easier than trying to focus and stop it right at the 12, you know, or at the 60 to get a good hack and set it more accurately. Now this movement, I didn't throw it on the time grapher, but I'm sure he regulates it and all that good stuff like that. But it's a manual line movement, so it's going to deviate depending on how much power reserve you have it set at. But check out that mint color dial. It is such a beautiful dial. Nice finishing on the bezel, nice brushing on the case, excellent handset there. I really like the Gauge handset. The current models, I think, have more of a sword type handset, which is still a good looking handset. So you'll see there it goes and it stops at 60. So a neat little feature. And then of course you have that interesting font. I believe this is the same font that's used in the gauges on that Land Rover. So I don't know what that font is called, but it's really cool looking. It's fun looking. I would love to see another gauge series. If it ever happens, I think I would consider picking one of those up. Maybe not the mint color, maybe in a different color. I don't know. I think Land Rover did like kind of an off-white cream colored paint job too, maybe something like that. So if we take a look at the case back here, nice big display so you can see that. 17 joules. You can see everything beating away there. Even down there on the back part of the movement there, it's labeled Weiss, whereas a lot of times you'll have the movement manufacturer name down there. Well, Weiss actually manufactured this movement, with the exception of probably a few components. I'm not sure what they are. Like you can't, he doesn't make the jewels or anything like that, so he's got to order those and get those placed in there. But caliber 1003, and this is number 522, so he's made quite a few of these. Nice blued screws. Just a really nice, pleasant watch to look at. So let's pop this guy on wrist. Also comes in this really cool oak box. Just slides open. Very simple, but works perfect. So let's pop this on wrist real quick, and then we'll close out with a Lume shot. These are extremely comfortable on wrist and very legible. No problem with legibility. So there it is. It presents larger. I mean, it's a 42 mil watch, which I'm totally fine with. But because there's no like dive bezel or anything like that, it's going to kind of present a little bit larger on wrist. So if you go with like a black or a dark blue dial or something like that, it's going to kind of visually just shrink it down a little bit. But it's very comfortable, and it's a very interesting, nice looking watch. Plus the ties to like the majority of it is made in the USA, actually manufactured in the USA. Is very, very cool. So, and these straps are nice. Spring for the leather straps, guys. I know it adds quite a bit of money to the price of the watch, but I think it's worth it. So if we kill the lights, we'll take a look at the Lume. And it is a nicely done loomed up watch. It looks like the 11 and the 1 are a little bit dimmer, but I mean, they're so thin, so it's hard to get a massive amount of lume on there. And I'm not sure what lume he used. I don't know if it's just C1 or what it is, but it's definitely green and it's plenty visible, but long lasting, I'm not sure. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next vid.